If you're on the run, or just staying home, if you're with some friends, or just all alone, have a cup of coffee or tea with me if you please, and listen to Aaron Coombs Cafe today. Welcome to the 90's. Hey there, it's your host Aaron from Aaron Coombs Cafe Podcast. We're taking it back to the 90's on this newest episode of Season 3, Episode 4. So stay tuned, stay happy, and stay healthy. Hey there, you're listening to Aaron Coombs Cafe Podcast. This is episode 4 of season 3, and we're bringing back the 90's. Show it. Yeah. Before we start, though, we got the names of the winners, well, could be winners of our last podcast. So it's going to be for our Frosty mug and our shot glass, Aaron Coombs Cafe Podcast. So without further ado, the big wheel. Laura, would you do me the honors of...
Ooh, fun.
The winner is Kristen. And we only had 4 entries, so I doubled it up.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. So, lucky winner. It's not rigged, Karen. You didn't play, but you would have won. You would have won, Karen.
So she gets the Frosty mug and the... That's pretty cool.
Shot glass, yeah.
Those are
pretty
cool
sweet.
That's cool stuff. That's pretty, congratulations.
We got some cool stuff today. We went to Papa Sweet Shops. Got the Chubbies. These are from the 90's. Remember these bad boys?
Oh, yeah.
The Reggae Red. Non-sponsored, but we're going to try one of them when we do a taste test. We're going to do it near the end.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever had one.
Oh, you're going to be having one
I mean,
tonight.
I've heard of them. I've seen them. But...
You're going to get a Chubby tonight.
It's like a flavor wave you surf it on. Like a 90's commercial.
Yeah. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about, first topic is 90's fashion. This one's a little controversial, huh? Bel Air. All right.
But with Bel Air, it was always about what Will be rocking. He'd always have the crazy threads on, the loud patterns, and the hats and stuff.
Turn the jacket, that prep school jacket inside out.
We're not going to talk about the Oscars, are we? No.
No, we'll say that. We're talking about the 90's.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about...
And you can't
We're
talk...
not going to talk about it, though.
No.
And you can't talk about the 90's.
We won't talk about it.
Oh, my God. There's a t-shirt with that already?
It's already slap. Anyways, we won't talk about it. We're not going to talk
That's
about
pretty
it.
cool.
We're not going to talk about it.
Oh, my God. I have so many mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about it right now. We're talking about fashion.
How could you show that shirt and then...
Moving on to fashion. Fashion. Okay.
Or fashion television. They used to come on the TV to show all the
Fashion.
90's fashions.
What
Pimp My Dress. That was never a show.
was the show? What Not to Wear? Was that a 90's show
What
or
Not
was
to
that
Wear.
later? I can't remember.
I have no
I feel
clue.
like that was later.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know anything about 90's fashion. Like, I was so young back then that I used to wear,
Fanny
like...
packs, you know?
Yeah, and, like, the spandex
LA
biker
Gears,
shorts.
LA Gear light up sneakers.
Yeah, light up sneakers.
The pump up sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
Denim.
Snap bracelet, if you want to consider that
Ashbagosh.
an
Oh,
item
yeah.
of clothing.
I used to always, like, have to get stuff that said Gap on it or,
I got a little
all these brand name things that
Yeah,
were so important to me when I was young.
How
Doc Martens were big.
Jeans, like the brand names were so important. It's like
Birkenstock sandals.
Edwin or whatever it was.
I got
you had to have the 90s, the top brands, right?
Yeah. Adidas rip-offs. Was that was 90s, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a cheat sheet here I was going to try to say, and all there is midriffs, crop tops over here.
Oh, yeah, I didn't do that. I was too young.
Colorful things, so like the Hornets jackets, all the pastels, all the pinks and neon colors, stuff like that.
Splash pants.
Windbreakers.
Hammer pants.
Too young for that, too, but I know what they are, yeah. Did you guys actually ever wear those?
I don't think so, but
no.
We did, of course, we wore the tearaway pants.
Yes.
And I think I had a pair of starter ones.
The only pair of shoes I seen in the 90s was a gym class.
Did you wear Umbro shorts?
Yes, man.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Umbro shorts were come on now. And what else was I thinking?
Roller skates.
I don't know.
I was in a rollerblading club when early 90s, I believe.
I was in a club.
It was the Rolling Trolling Club because we all had troll dolls and rollerblades, and it was a thing.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
It was.
So I was thinking of all the sneakers I had. I think my favorite pair of sneakers in the 90s, I think it was around 98. I had a pair of Reebok Jason Kidd sneakers, and they were awesome.
Ooh.
Try to find those.
Did you have any like Michael Jordan or like Air Jordan shoes?
I don't think I've ever had any.
Can you repeat it again?
They look cool, but like
Reebok,
Jason Kidd.
Not brought to you by Reebok. Not sponsored. There you go. And jean jackets were a thing.
Oh yeah.
Overalls.
I had a jean jacket with the white inside too, so the hood was like white, but the rest of it was jean.
I was gonna bring that, but it was like we're too big now. Yeah. We're too big. Mullets? That's not fashion. Well, it's fashion.
Yeah,
mullets.
Hair fashion.
It's definitely a look.
Me and Mark, we had the look. Should we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, sure.
Or you want more fashion?
No, that's fine.
What's the friends wearing?
Friends. They were Jennifer Aniston actually. Well, probably all the friends, but yeah, Jennifer Aniston was definitely known for her fashion sense in the 90s. The hairstyle, but also her clothing that she wore, including on the show Friends, was very fashionable.
Floral patterns was a big thing too.
Yeah.
I got a lot of floral patterns. Anyways, moving on to our second topic. Shows. 90s shows. So we had like Full House, we had Family Matters, we had name all the shows. Here we go, shows.
Because when we were kids, TGF was a big thing.
TGF.
So
thank God it's Friday.
We got not too young, but old enough that we.
How come I don't remember that? I'm like the only person.
It's 9:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. on I think it was ABC.
Home Improvement, Boy Meets World.
Yeah, and
Sabrina Teenage Witch.
Some shows would switch out throughout the years, right? So we watched that for a few years. We'd get like popcorn or chips in a bar and some pop, and we'd rock that show. And it was so nice. Awesome.
So
classic times, man.
I'm gonna have to ask this question out of all of them. Think really hard. What is your favorite
TJF show
of 90s shows altogether? Even cartoons,
all 90s shows,
even kids shows, cartoons, family shows. I got mine picked out. You're not gonna like it. Mine's Family Matters. I love Family Matters.
I love Family Matters too. It's definitely in my top ones. It's maybe like
your top says Friends.
Yeah, but I think it was like maybe late 90s before I got into Friends, because I would have been a bit young to watch it earlier in the early 90s when it first started, but I've definitely watched every single episode of Friends like 10 times since then. So I would say Friends is definitely one of the best 90s shows. Seinfeld.
I was going to say Seinfeld started in 89, but we're going to talk about it because it went throughout the 90s.
Yeah, totally. It was, yeah.
And I got a picture of chairs there, but Frasier?
Yeah. Spin-off from
Seinfeld is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
And I feel as though Family Matters jumped the shark pretty early for it to be someone's favorite show. Like, even when you were older, did you still like Family Matters? Like,
every Christmas I watched.
We were half old when Family Matters, like, that lasts a lot longer than you probably even think, really. Because I remember at one point it didn't have very good time slot, but it was still on television. But it kind of jumped the shark when I got to the point where like Carl and Richie and Steve all became Bruce Lee. Can you remember that episode? I was like, this is wild. Like,
Cashew was my favorite.
You got too far. Like the
I don't
Bruce
know.
Lees.
I like how the first daughter just got out of the whole. Nope, she just disappeared. Didn't talk about it. She's gone. And Urkel was supposed to be just like a show up cameo kind of thing, but he ended up being like the star of it all.
Yeah, and the thing with Seinfeld is just like
Show about nothing.
it's like between the New York a-hole show, Seinfeld's more my cup of tea than Friends. I'm not gonna say that Friends didn't have a big impact, but I just know I was never the biggest fan, but definitely so I'm more of a Seinfeld guy all the way. And not that you can be both either. Yeah. And there's just so many epic characters and moments in Seinfeld, and the humor is great.
Your favorite cartoon?
Yeah.
Or
Hey.
Oh,
I'm not done.
Oh,
I didn't
more.
say my absolute favorite 90s
the absolute
show.
faves. She said her
So-
favorite, not
Okay,
her absolute.
here it is.
Okay,
My
here we go.
absolute
Okay.
favorite 90s show. See, I feel like you have to break up between early 90s and late 90s because you were at different stages of development, different, child versus like adolescence. So first it would have been Saved by the Bell, early 90s for me. Still a good show, by the way. And the new Saved by the Bell, yeah, super cheesy, but I like how it kind of like makes fun of it includes some of the old characters.
Yeah.
Several of them.
Slater's gonna slate.
Like Slater, Jesse are on there, working in the high school, Bayside.
Showgirls. What's
They
her
still
name?
have Max. Yeah, that's Jesse.
Okay. Showgirls.
But then Zach and his wife, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they make some appearances, and their teenage son goes to Bayside High. So, like, that's kind of cool. And I like how they did a little tribute this season, in their second season, to Screech, to the character Screech, because, of course, the actor who played Screech, in real life, he had cancer, and he passed away last year, I believe it was, right?
So in memory of Screech.
So,
There we go.
yeah.
And another one.
Screech.
Full House. We're gonna say another memory of Bob Saget.
What is your latest show then? If that's your early show.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Oh, God.
Oh gosh, I got already.
I don't know, but did you guys ever watch the WB? Like, they had Dawson's Creek
That's it.
and Charmed, and what else did they have?
You got Buffy.
Like those teen and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, they had those teen shows. I was really into that in high school. Big fan of Dawson's Creek back then. That would have been more like late 90s.
I never spent much time in the creek.
Remember Dinosaurs?
No.
Not the mama.
No, Dinosaurs was awesome.
That's 90s.
Was that even 90s?
Yeah.
Insane.
Okay.
Gargoyles.
That
It seems so long ago.
My favorite cartoon,
Favorite cartoon?
Yeah, favorite 90s.
Darkwing Duck. It only had like 2 or 3
Darkwing Duck was
seasons.
excellent. I remember being like 7 and they had a big countdown for it. Like, only 12 days left till Darkwing Duck, and it was to the hype. It was good show, and it had
Oh, sorry.
it had Launchpad from the DuckTales. In it. Yeah.
DuckTales is also
And you were
90s.
saying about Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes.
That's old school, but I guess
But of course the
Space Jam edition and all that.
and they replayed a lot of the older Looney Tunes in the 90s, big time, like with the Bugs Bunny Tweety show and stuff, right?
Do you like Marvin the Martian? He's one of your favorite.
Marvin's awesome. And 90s cartoons, what's my favorite? I was trying to think, what's my absolute favorite?
Doug. Hey Arnold.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or was that 80s?
Oh, no. The first movie came out in the 90s, but the
Very first
cartoons
cartoon
was
started in
early.
the 80s, but it was very popular in the 90s as well, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
and talking about shows, totally forgot about Fresh Prince. Also, rest in peace, James Avery. It's been a couple of years back, but
Yeah.
he did the voice of Shredder.
Yeah,
in,
so not only was he Uncle Phil,
Oh, yeah?
he was Shredder on Turtles as well, yeah.
and
Oh.
my favorite show, Family Matters. Guess who does the Sonic the cartoon? Urkel, don't he? I think so.
He did the voice of Sonic on the
Yeah,
cartoon.
yeah.
So, like,
Not in the current movies, but
but in the
The other-
original
they were-
cartoon.
Making a second Sonic movie? I kind
It's
of
already
find
out.
that hard to believe.
it's
Or they've made it, I
it's
it's in
mean.
theaters.
It's in
Tomorrow
theater
is
right
actually booked in Grand Falls.
Sold out.
Sold
Grand
out.
Falls.
Not that I even saw the first one, but I just didn't think it would be.
Sadly, it might be Jim
Great.
Carrey's last movie already. Then
So, and now regarding shows and cartoons, there's Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yeah.
South Park. These are
South
all.
Park.
Oh yeah.
The
The
Ryan-
Simpsons. Although
Simpsons.
I guess that was around even before the 90s, wasn't it?
I think that was that. Might have started in '89. Aaron can fact check it, but it's
Yeah.
definitely really popular in the '90s for sure.
Simpsons also was
Definitely all
also.
grew up on The
became to
Simpsons.
Mr. Dress Up was earlier than the 90s, but it was throughout the 90s. So I grew
Yeah.
up watching Simpsons and
You
Mr. Dress Up,
young.
pretending sick,
Little baby.
eating Mr. Noodles, pretending to be sick, watching that. You know what I'm saying?
Question that. Jay
I love
Springer,
Mr. Dress Up. That was like
Jerry's-
the 80s for me.
Jay Springer and Maury are definitely '90s shows, and Maury's only calling it quits now.
Speaking about Maury, I got
And Jerry's like Judge Jerry now. He has like a show. I watched it when I was like home with the COVID recently. I was like, what the hell? Judge Jerry? And there was like two drag queens. They were on there like suing each other over like ripped costumes and stuff.
Speaking about Maury, my profile picture is being our daughter. And your friend was like, there's no saying you gotta go Maury to see who's the father or whatever like that. It's like, because you look identical.
Another-
Yes.
Little Aaron.
Another impactful '90s show that ended a lot before these other shows did. Was I remember Ricky Lake.
I was just thinking
I think she ran till around 2001 or
Was-
so.
of Rosie O'Donnell.
Was Rosie
Yeah.
in 19?
Yeah, 90s, yeah.
Yeah. And
I
Oprah.
love that. I won't lie, I loved Rosie.
Oprah was big in the 90s.
Yeah. She got gigantic.
Um,
She started in the 80s, but in the 90s she was like
Yeah.
the most popular thing.
Yeah.
I can remember mom watching it with supper.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about
Never
toys,
was-
but that
never
reminds me
been a
of
fan.
Rosie O'Donnell. I'll talk about it later on. Alright.
Okay.
Let's go talk about the topic number 3, which is movies.
Oh, we could do like 6 episodes just on 90s movies.
I got a cheat sheet here too. I got cheat sheets. We got
You're gonna have to restrain Mark.
okay. Here's just some examples on the cheat sheet. We got Clueless, Pulp Friction.
Okay. I always
It's a
talk
different
about
kind of
movies.
movie, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
What?
Don't just list off.
Okay.
Yeah, like
There's 400 movies. Here it
Let's
comes.
go and start.
list off every movie made in the 90s.
I don't remember Pulp Friction though.
Pulp Fiction. Let's not talk about that one. It sounds
It's in my
different.
jeans, man.
Was that the
Alright.
90s? Anyways, of course, when we were talking about years in movies, what year would you pick? I remember they had certain ones listed on that thing I seen yesterday on the interwebs, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking just overall, like 94 was a pretty huge year for movies, especially for like they had Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction,
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, Shawshank
Ooh.
Redemption. So that was a mega year.
I think I did 90,
Yeah.
95, and 98, I think I said. Everyone's like Titanic, but I was like more like Home Alone. What's the other?
Titanic was a
Macaulay
huge
Culkin
deal.
stuff in the 90s.
Home Alone's a huge deal.
I remember.
Was it a huge deal when it first came out, like as it is now? Because you know now, like Home Alone, it's like
More
classic.
I can remember talking about
No,
90s
never.
story. I remember being first in line at the theater here when Home Alone 2 started.
Oh
And
yeah.
getting squat like up front because I was like, right, and there's so many people behind me. Everyone was like excited to get those tickets to Home Alone 2. But yeah, that was the anticipation for that.
You know,
Everyone's on it. Shoot.
and you can't talk about 90s movies without talking about like Rogers. Is it Rogers? Video? I can't even remember now. It was so long. Blockbuster.
Alan's video.
No,
We
like
had.
well, the big chains though.
Jumbo
What were they-
Video.
Jumbo Video. I think that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to say.
Roger's Corner.
Rogers. I don't know.
We had a small jumbo video here, but
Yeah, when I first moved here, it was still open.
our spot was
and you could go and get the popcorn there.
Oh,
Alan's video, man. Alan's video all the
video.
way.
Brides
Where
was.
was that located?
That was on High Street.
It's
Right by
knocked
the
down
theater.
now. It was where
Okay, that.
co-op and co-op was knocked down.
No, I
And
don't
next
even know where
Co-op.
that was.
Right by the gym now, right by the old
Okay.
common grounds. And I was gonna say, Brides was one of the last places that we went to that you can rent movies, but that's gone now too.
Yeah, the place where I work, they like bought all their movies from them when they closed down.
And they had great popcorn, so a Jumbo Video, and also Papa
Mm-hmm.
Sweet's the only place open now with the best popcorn, I guess, in town. Yeah, I can say that, I guess. Not sponsored.
Yeah, there's nothing like going out and renting a VHS tape.
What was your
Make sure
some
you
of your
rewind it. Be
favorite-
kind, rewind.
Favorite rentals during the 90s?
Like movies?
Yeah.
True Lies.
She realized.
Do them.
I remember
Yeah?
Arnold.
So what
Schwarzenegger.
so James Cameron, the director of Titanic, actually directed True Lies as well, and he did Terminator 2, which is I think is my favorite
Apollo-
action
All
movie.
the Terminator
Terminator 2 is
movies.
amazing.
Apollo
They were good.
13 come out in the 90s?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The actor in True Lies was also in that one, I believe. He passed away too.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, rest in peace. We're doing a lot of memories here.
He died?
Oh,
Couple
yeah,
years
a
ago
couple
now.
years back.
Oh man.
As we said, or something like that.
He-
Oh, no, I got small. Okay, never mind.
He
Oh, was he in Twister too? Right. That's him, right?
I'm almost certain. I'm not sure.
I've never seen Twisted, to be honest.
Twister is pretty great, actually.
I never really got into natural disaster movies.
Oh.
Now, so
I went through a natural disaster phase where I was pretty into
I'm
that
thinking
stuff.
start to touch up on movies we see. How about movies we see in theater as like a family, and how about like
Mortal Kombat. Oh, yeah. Mortal Kombat. We didn't see many as a full family.
No, we only seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the initial movie 3. It's the only one we've seen of everyone. But Mom and the three of us would go to the movies a fair bit. And we've seen the Mighty Ducks. And
Good stuff.
Would you see in the theater back in the 90s?
I can't even remember.
That was so long ago.
I remember one I really loved, of course, was Lion King. I think that's, for me, Disney animated films peaked at, like, you can't touch Lion King. Lion King is so good.
You know what?
Yes.
I got it on 3D Blu-ray. I love Disney cartoon movies in 3D. It pops right out. Don't call me a child. I love it.
No, I was gonna call you a child.
Call me a man, child. I love it.
Now, so that's kids' movies, and
What do you mean kids movies?
and remember in the 90s they had like the return of the slasher horror film round with Scream. And I know we did last summer and all that kind of urban legends. All that was on the scene, and that was like kind of, in a way, it was good for horror movies, but in a way it kind of like oversaturated the market with those kind of movies at the same time as well. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, especially first couple screens.
I was like very afraid of horror movies for most of my life until recent years. I wouldn't watch them.
I found most of them
And like
funny.
I wouldn't even watch Jurassic Park. I was too scared. I know that's not even a horror movie, but anyways, saw it after. Great movie.
We also visited.
But Scream was like probably one of the first horror movies that I watched that I wasn't completely terrified of. Like I was just scared enough. I really enjoyed it. So.
And it's just to go random, malicious. I don't know how to say the word.
Molasses.
Anyways, just random 90s movies that are top movies for me. Big Lebowski, comedy, the bowling comedy with Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Coen Brothers movie, fantastic. And another one up there for me, 90s, is Fight Club, 99. I love that movie with Brad Pitt, Ed Norton, Helen Bonham Carter, David Fincher movie, excellent. And, a lot of good thrillers in the 90s
10
as
Things
well.
I Hate About You, Groundhog Day, Schindler's List, Space Jam, The Mask,
Don't read the whole.
American Beauty.
Don't
Remember
just
Kevin
read-
Smith?
Don't just read
Kevin,
out. Don't just read out.
Kevin Spacey.
So I think we're good on the movies now.
all right.
Okay.
So that's it for
Yeah.
movies. Let's move on to music.
Even though I could probably type- movies for like a day, especially 90s movies. Music,
right,
okay.
yeah.
Now we're talking about music. Now this is even more ridiculous.
Yes.
90s music. Well,
Yes.
I got a little bit of cheat sheet over.
Okay, stop talking about your cheat sheet, Aaron.
Speak from the heart.
Music from the heart.
Bye.
So the boy bands, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC,
Hanson.
S Club 7, and there were like girl groups and boy bands, and there was mixture.
Boys to Men. Are they boys? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's different. Like an R&B group is different than a boy band. Anyways, those groups were really popular in the 90s. I was never. I guess, like, in the 80s, I was a big fan of New Kids on the Block, but then I never got into, like, the 90s boy bands for some reason.
No?
Yeah. What about you?
He had posters all over his bedroom.
The 90s, like, for me, it was more so, we got into, well, the first CD I ever purchased was Tom Petty's Wallflowers, so that kind of music is what I started listening to, and then got into, like, nice, big, like, grunge, like Nirvana and Pearl Jam, and my favorite band is actually Chili Peppers. They came out in the 80s, but Blood Sugar Sex Magic 91, Under the Bridge and Give It Away and stuff, that brought them to be a real level of popularity. And then Frusciante came back in the band for Californication, which has Scar Tissue, Californication, and a lot of jams on it that was very popular as well.
Alice in Chains and Tool.
Alice in Chains, Tool. Tool, I don't know. It's funny enough that Alice in Chains is brought up as a grunge band because I find that their sound a bit different. But Tool is definitely not considered in that grunge category. But I love Tool. Tool's more.
I like how they use the talk box a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Bon Jovi. See that?
And like there's such a wide variety. Like earlier for Laugh, we were listening to some dance music, 90s dance music, like Dance Mix 95. It was. Did
you get all those like dance mix?
Oh yeah, especially
CDs every year.
But 95 is like the creme de la creme.
Yeah,
95 is like the pinnacle of dance mix CDs. Like that one got wore out. I remember Aaron. We had a CD again in like 2000, around 2012, 2013, and we'd burn around the vibe listening to it. And
I'm still driving that vibe, 2006 Pontiac vibe. Right.
Okay, so we touched.
But you got that's not it for music.
No. I was thinking about other kinds of music.
I thought you were gonna say that's enough about music.
No, I'll never say that but there's so many different areas of music because we touched on a bit of the grunge, the boy bands.
Yeah.
The 90s dance music.
How about the OGs like Vogue and
I was thinking about more so like hip hop. No,
that's hip hop.
MJ and
some hip hop.
And Madonna were in the 90s, but Michael Jackson had more impact in the 80s.
Yeah, same with Madonna, I think.
Yeah, no, she did have some, probably like in the earlier 90s for sure.
I think hip hop really became popular in the 90s.
That's what I was trying to segue into.
Yeah.
Run DMC. Hip-hop because Run DMC was definitely 80s, but
I listened to him in the 90s.
Anyways, but like Dr. Dre had Chronic, and then again Chronic 2001. Snoop came on the scene in the 90s.
Yeah.
Eminem late 90s.
Tupac,
Biggie.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan, like the sounds, all the different.
TLC.
Yeah, and there's like the East Coast rappers, the West Coast rappers. I really first, I guess in high school, got into the East Coast rappers, like Puff Daddy back then. I think he was
now he's P Diddy
calling himself, and then Mace came out, associated with them, and then and Jay-Z in the 90s.
I felt when after Biggie got shot, Puff came out more as an artist.
Yeah,
he was a lot more seen than he was.
Ironically,
more so, he was more like a hype man / producer type guy when Biggie was on the go, right? And take that. Anyways, but yeah, definitely an impactful guy. And then the other side of things, you had
and then the female rappers. Let's not forget the females. We had like Lil' Kim, Missy Elliott, Foxy Brown. I can't think of any other ones right now. Queen Latifah.
She was actually in one of the Super Bowls, Queen Latifah. All right.
And
don't forget Juvenile. Back that thing up.
What year was that?
Back the thing.
That might have been in the 2000s.
No, it's 90s.
And
sure? What about Chingy? Chingy's 2000.
That was probably 2000s.
Cisco. Thong.
What year was Thong?
I think it was 90s.
I was still in high school, so
I think so.
I don't know. It could have been 2000.
I feel so you haven't.
I'll do research.
You've seen a lot of 2000 stuff.
Cisco came
you're
out.
Too young. Look, you're too young. You don't know.
Cisco and Drew Hill came out in this year.
Well, Drew Hill was there in the 90s, but Cisco and Solo,
yes.
it could have been
the
more
90s.
like 2000.
I think it might have been 2000, 2001.
Mm-hmm.
I think in 1999, Dragon Song.
Drew Hill was still on the go with Wild Wild West in 1999.
We'll see.
Oh, right.
Will Smith. How can we forget about that rapper?
Will Smith was big in the 90s. He was.
I don't swear, but now I do. Anyways.
And to get a little bit heavier for a second, in 91, Metallica had their Black Album, which made them a bit more in the forefront too. A lot of the original metalheads don't like that direction they went in after that, especially with Load and Reload. They became more of a hard rock band.
Do you like Jay-Z's Black Album as well?
Another album that's not from the 90s.
It's okay, it's black, bro.
Okay, you're not allowed to talk about this anymore.
From his own podcast. He fired.
I didn't even like research or prep any of this stuff, and I just like remember, because like I remember early 90s being really into like the dance mix, like the dance music, and I was a bit younger then. And then in junior high I started to get into like more rock. It started off with like I even remember being in grade 5 and buying this is not rock, but the Salt and Pepper tape, the one with Shoop, grade 5 or grade 6. I think grade 6 actually, and the Ace of Base tape. Those were like the two that I had in my my Walkman. That's how old I am. And then I got into like the Offspring, and I started to get into more rock. And I was like a big fan of Bush X, they were called then, and that was my first concert ever. When I was 14, I went to see Bush X. They were called in Canada back then, in Toronto. Yeah, that was my first concert. And it was awesome.
Who else was at that concert?
I don't even know. I wish I could remember, but I guess like at the time I was like,
it doesn't get any more 90s than having called themselves Bush X for a short period of time in Canada.
What were your first concerts you went to? I know yours, but
big one. Well, besides Sand Festival,
like big one, like to see. Well.
Because we've seen like Aerosmith,
yeah,
Kiss,
you can count that if you've
Tragically
seen.
Hit. We've seen them all there, but I'm thinking my biggest one, travel-wise, was with my father, our father, me and Mark.
Was that in the 90s?
No.
Oh, okay, right. I forgot.
But you say it was the biggest concert I've seen, but you mean in the 90s? Don't know that.
Nothing, probably, because you're too young.
I wasn't even
maybe
born
Raffi
then.
or something.
I think it was 97 when I seen Bob Dylan.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Probably Tea Party for me.
Paradise had I think it was 99 when Paradise had a classic rock concert. It was like Heart, Foreigner, Leonard Skinner, Pat Benatar, Peter Frampton. It was like a couple day concert.
When you said Walkman,
did you have a Walkman?
What's the tape one?
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Then what's the CD one?
Discman.
Okay, I had a Walkman. I asked Eileen, our aunt, for this one specifically. Was Sonic the Hedgehog one because it was so cool. Had him on it in like blue and yellow. Anyways, yeah, I had a Walkman with Sonic the Hedgehog on it.
Okay, so you're not too young.
And Discmans were always lying about the bass boost and the non-skip.
Remember like they skip?
And it was like, put it in your pocket. I'm like, how? All right.
You'd have to like walk down the road. You go for a walk carrying it in your hand. Like I don't even know how we did that. Like kids today are so, like, they got it so good. They don't even know how easy they got it.
We thought we were fancy with our Big Shiny Tunes, and now
Big Shiny Tunes! That was like
so many daily jams.
Just as good as the Much Dance.
That's how we went from the Much Dance to the Big Shiny Tunes as we got a bit older. A lot of good jams on it. It introduced me to some bands too. Like I probably heard Radiohead from there first, and then I became a big fan of them. In the 90s, they had OK Computer and the Bends and Pablo Honey. I love Radiohead's one of my favorite bands. Like they originated in the 90s.
Did you guys used to watch? Well, obviously you watch much music, I'm sure. But did you do what I would do? Is like I'd record music videos, like I'd tape them on VHS tape and rewatch them. The music videos I liked for songs I liked. Yeah,
for sure.
Did you record it on your flip phone?
That was before.
Bring it back to Laura Vardy.
This was before.
VCR days, bro. VCR.
I don't think I even had a cell phone until after the 90s, like into the early 2000s.
Did you have a brick
I
phone?
was like 18.
You had a brick phone, didn't you? Oh, don't trip over.
I remember, a bit off topic, but it's nice. I remember we used to think that whenever like kids had a kid line, we thought that was like the coolest thing. Like, oh man, they have their own line.
Yeah.
Home phone line. We never ever rocked that.
Oh, I had my own phone line.
Geez.
I used to be on the phone for like hours and
Only
hours
child, though, see?
a day.
We had to fight for our dial-up. dial-up.
Okay, so now we're good on music.
Now we're good on music.
Good on the
We're talking about
music.
other stuff.
He doesn't get a chance to say anything.
All right, that's the end of that.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
We'll have to do the 90s part too.
Well, after music, we're
Yay.
going to talk about sports. I put the video in between these.
I know.
Magic.
Oh, look,
So-
a cassette tape.
Ooh, a cassette tape.
Some nice decor for our Aaron's 90s birthday party that we're...
Gonna do Saturday. So we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
We're gonna show this after the party because this will give away our get up and gear and everything. Yeah, but we're gonna have a time.
Okay.
There's gonna be some slap bracelets.
Okay, so back to the sports. Sports.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff in the sports. That's when I start to get into sports in the 90s as well.
Yeah, same.
Do you know how I judged my sports?
How?
How I liked my teams? You know. NHL
Base-
99. No, the video games.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I love Hasek and Pekka, so I was like Buffalo. But I also followed wherever Gretzky went. That's what I did.
That's literally what I did in the early days before I became a Sanders fan.
That was like the only hockey player I probably heard of in the 90s.
And then I
never watched hockey.
The 90s was the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah?
92-93, it was the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh.
And who goes for those guys? Mostly Andre, but I do too.
And Blue Jays had the back-to-back World Series.
Well,
Were you a junior Jay?
can I tell you about that?
Who's been to real baseball games?
Were you in the games back then?
Yeah, so I lived near Toronto back when the Blue Jays were winning the World Series, had the back-to-back wins, early 90s. 92, 93, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my parents actually took me to a Blue Jays game back then, my first baseball
So
game.
you saw the stacked team. That's amazing.
Yeah, and like I wish I could remember it more clearly, but I know that I went, and I actually found like an old journal recently, and I was talking about going, and these were the players and all this stuff, and I wanted to go back to another game, and like I played the t-ball, like the kids version of baseball back then. So yeah, I was a Blue Jays fan.
You say 93, you know
got
what
to
else
see,
happened in 93?
What's that?
Super Bowl halftime, Michael Jackson.
That-
One of my favies. Okay.
So,
And did you actually watch it back then? No, because you were like 2.
And
Well, not really.
Basketball is when the
Oh my
90s is when the
God.
Raptors started become a team.
Yes.
Did you research what year that was? I can't remember.
This year right here.
1995, I think. Sadly, it was like the year after my family moved.
Okay.
Oh,
Out
talking about
of Ontario, so I never did get to see them, but I remember having like this Raptors t-shirt, and I think I may have became a Raptors fan if we had stayed there, but I didn't, and so I think through another friend I met here, maybe I became like a Chicago Bulls fan because they were like, on fire in the 90s, like when they had Michael Jordan, like
Dennis Rodman, Pittman. But also, I was
Pittman.
talking to Scottie Pittman.
Oh, I thought you said Pittman. I was like,
I don't think about my math teacher in high school.
of course. So
So-
that was like an amazing time to be watching
alive.
NBA games.
Yeah, because in the 90s it was all about the Bulls.
Yes.
So many teams like Karl Malone and Stockton never got a championship. Knicks never got a championship. A lot of these teams didn't get championships because the Bulls were just there.
Did you watch the
Yes.
Michael Jordan? Was it on Netflix?
No, I didn't see that. But I know
Yeah.
most of it
I
though.
know.
I've read seen clips or I watched the games,
Yeah.
read the news, so I have a pretty good idea. What
Earlier
it-
today, I was saying, how come the Hornets had all the colors like the teal and the blue and all that was so fashionable back then? But I guess they made a lot of jackets.
Okay, so
Did you watch?
They just made a lot of
Did you
jackets
watch
back
like
then.
basketball, like NBA basketball or anything back in the 90s?
oh yeah, I'd watch basketball then.
Were you
Mark
like
played some
were you a
ball back
Raptors
then.
fan since the 90s?
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure I was always a Raptors fan. Yeah, and back in the day, it didn't start off. There was some Raptors
No.
fan, but like you said, a lot of people be the Bulls fans, or I know some Knicks fans, a lot of Lakers fans. Of course, Kobe started dominating in the 90s.
Yes, yeah.
And
And Shaq was playing
Oh,
Shaq
yeah.
and Kobe together, and
He was more than just a printer commercial. Shaq.
but now
he's
Raptors, they started. When did they start getting like? What year was it that they lost to 76ers with Iverson? I feel it might have been the early 2000s when Raptors had their little like
Was
resurgence
that-
of started to get good for a bit with Vince Carter before he got traded.
was that the year when the 76ers went on to the finals? That was 2001,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So that was starting to bud at the late 90s when Vince was just starting to come in, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously, like we said, Jordan was the man in the 90s.
Yeah.
They had a little break when Jordan left. He retired the first time he retired. And he played baseball for a
yeah,
while.
Did you ever
that was strange.
ever
but,
own any Air Jordans? No.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I had like lead up shoes, but not Air Jordans. I still got lead up shoes now, so. But pump up ones. I don't know. If
I had to still have, I guess, a Michael Jordan jersey, but
I got a Lowry jersey, but we're not gonna talk about Lowry.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Although we could have, because, this week he went back to Toronto.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Anyways, that's off topic.
Okay, no, we've talked about the present. We're off sports again now.
No,
Yeah,
one more.
anything 90s sports.
Sports, halftime, Super Bowl, without looking at my cheat sheet, who played more than once?
Mariah Carey.
Gloria Estefan.
Oh, yeah. I think she told me that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
That's more music than sports.
Yeah.
Kind
It's Super Bowl halftime. That's what I'm talking about. And who didn't play? Who you thought would play in the 90s? Prince, I thought he'd play, but he didn't play until 2000s. So, yeah, rest in peace, Dalton. Do we want to keep going with sports?
No, I think we're safe to say we're good. You're talking about Gloria Estefan now. We're good.
Gloria Estefan.
Yeah, I definitely don't really know much more about 90s sports.
That good cricket game.
I go on for a bit longer, but I feel as though we can go to the next topic now.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to 90s toys. I know what I grew up with. Stretch Armstrong and Vac-Man. They were one of my favorite. What was your favorite toy back in the 1990s? Laura.
I don't know. I feel like I was growing out of toys in the 90s. Like early 90s, I probably still had some Barbie dolls.
Polly Pockets.
Because I was like really into Barbie dolls when I was a kid. What else?
Easy Bake.
No, but see, I think that probably might have been more like the 80s for me.
Oh, okay.
God, you make me feel so old.
Light bright.
No, the 90s,
I can't even
the 90s was
think.
like, especially with the early 90s, the mid 90s, probably action figures. And a lot of the ones that were popular in the 80s that blended through to the 90s, like Turtles, G.I. Joes, Transformers, all that kind of stuff was still on the go in the 90s.
Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Power Rangers.
We went to Walmart one time, I believe it was, and there was only one toy left, and they didn't even have all the parts to it.
Megazord.
And we're like, we gotta get it.
I think all of our money
combined?
from a relative, we put it all together and we got the Megazord with like a piece
Missing
missing.
parts. Yeah.
It was still awesome. Great toy.
Best.
And lots of cool stuff in the toys like
Cush balls.
Gak.
Metal moles, creepy crawlers.
Yeah.
Talk box. Was it
Talk
Talk Boy?
Boy.
Talk
Talk
Boy.
Boy.
Talk Boy.
Can you remember the Barricode Battler? You'd put your Barricode in and like you'd fight off against other Barricodes and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Tamagotchi. And... Ooh. Furbies. I don't like Furbies, though.
Creepy.
Damn.
Furbies, we're probably kind of a bit too old for Furbies, so it's kind of the end of it.
Pogs and cards, I guess. Is that a game? Toy. That's toy.
It's more of a collectible cards.
All right.
Yeah.
Pogs
Well,
kind
you
of
play- you played them,
Pogs.
yeah.
Cards, I'm thinking more cards. Cards more collectible.
Kerplunk.
I was
didn't
into
like it.
marbles. Like we used to
Babe, that was back in the old...
play with
BC.
marbles and exchange like trade marbles
Jacks.
or something
Oh,
at school, like in elementary school.
My favorite marble game was Kerplunk.
No, you guys
Remember
didn't have
Kerplunk?
a. Oh man, I had an amazing marble collection. I wonder. I don't even know what happened to
She
it.
lost her marbles, guys. Oh boy! Wiggity whack. All right. So marbles.
Kerplunk is still good. I'd like for Kalani to get that game in a few years, and we can play with
We're
her.
talking about board games.
Board games
Like the Game of
never
Life
get
was my
too
jam.
old.
Game of Life.
The Game of Life, my 90s board game jam.
We could play that
Clue,
sometime.
Got into Risk of the 90s
Monopoly,
too, but
Clue. I don't know when year these games
All
were
these
actually
games-
made, but
All those games definitely before the 90s. But
Yeah.
we played.
But-
I'm sure everyone played them a lot in the 90s.
yeah.
This doesn't have to be strictly the 90s, but what we remember growing up in the 90s too, if you want to.
Oh,
'Cause-
change the rules. You're trying to change the rules because you said so many
Guess
non-90
that-
things.
Tickle Me Elmo. We're a bit old for that. Well,
Yeah, that was.
but that was a big toy in the late 90s, I think. 96, 97.
Yeah.
When did we get to
know
have
that?
this drink? I'm kind of thirsty.
Yeah, same.
That's when we get to the snacks. It's right after this
How
one.
many more? Okay, let's get to the snacks. I'm thirsty.
Wait. What about Pokemon? I never liked Pokemon. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nintendo 64?
Are we talking about- are
Did
we
that
ta-
come out?
there's,
Oh, is that not a
video games
toy?
count?
Let's talk about
Toys?
video games too. Video games.
Video games,
We'll
toys.
bleed
yeah.
right into the video games.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about this last podcast too, but we can still mention it again.
The first big
I
system,
wasn't there, so.
one of the first big systems, of course, was the Super Nintendo. Because the Nintendo was the 80s, but early 90s. But then Super Nintendo came out with early 90s, and it was like awesome. I love Super Nintendo. So many great games.
I had an original Nintendo, but for some reason my parents didn't get me a Super Nintendo. I don't know why.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
But actually, I got an emulator. We can play it on the big screen. All the Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
With some super.
You don't have to blow on it.
Talking about NBA Jam was awesome.
Razzle dazzle.
Mortal Kombat, especially Mortal Kombat 2, Street Fighter,
Battletoads.
Mario.
Did Super Mario Brothers 3 come out in the 90s or 80s?
When did the movie?
Was it late?
When did the movie The Wizard come out? I feel it might have been. Is either late 80s or early 90s?
Yeah.
It might be late 80s.
I know, it might be like 90 or 91.
Yes.
Super Mario World came out in the 90s, I believe. World.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites. And we had Earthworm Jim and Donkey Kong.
Yes, man.
All those bad boys. The Mask, I liked that one, even though it didn't do too well. And
You can't be putting that game up with those classes, though.
but
Come on.
it was just.
Come on now.
I
It's
just
a
love Jim
movie
Carrey.
game.
So Nintendo 64, I didn't have it, but my cousins had it. And
It was number 3 was in 90s.
so they used to always bring it to my house because they were like really obsessed with it. And
I feel
we'd
like,
play Mario Kart all the time. That was my favorite. And we'd also play GoldenEye 007. That was a big one.
GoldenEye was
Yeah.
like the introduction to 64, and it was still
Yeah.
probably the most
That was high
played game
graphics
I've
back
ever
then,
had
too.
for
That was good graphics.
for 64. And we had a rule that we couldn't be odd job because he was too short, and
Yeah.
he'd always be under your bullet firing. And Perfect Dark was another game on 64 that was pretty good. It was pretty similar style. And no,
Doom.
90s, I guess that's
Wait.
when
Yeah.
I never had a PlayStation. PlayStation started in the 90s as well.
I didn't play Sega either, so that was
No.
like Sonic the Hedgehog mostly.
I remember, I think we rented a Sega Genesis one time. Even then, I didn't get too much into it.
Was Wii in 2000s? Yes.
Yeah.
Because I remember Mom gave me a Wii game. I was like, Mom, I don't even have that system. She's like, oh, sorry. I was like, oh, I want to play.
You didn't go, wee.
Wii. I went, no. Cause I
Did
was
you
like,
open the game and you were like,
yes, the
oh
system's
my
coming.
god,
The system's
I'm
coming.
getting...
The system's coming. I looked at it. I was like, Mom's like, you don't have that system? I was like, no, Mommy.
And you didn't get to get it after?
Nope.
No.
Let's get drinking now.
Let's have a drink to that.
have a drink.
Wait. We're going to talk about snacks. All right, this is from the 90s.
Okay, we can
I
drink
believe
this
it's
now?
93. Not 100% sure.
Is it from? Is this going to be good enough to drink? It was from there.
Oh, it's so stale. All right.
Reggae Red.
Cheers, everybody. To the 90s.
Is this like offensive?
No. I don't know.
Cultural appropriation?
Is this scissor?
All right, guys.
Woo, this is sweet. Woo.
It's about to
Oh,
get
look,
sweeter.
it's a good source
sweeter.
of vitamin C.
It's a health drink. Obviously.
It reminds me of something. Cream soda?
Yeah,
It's like cream soda and cherry cough syrup.
it is.
It makes me feel so good.
Yeah, it's like cream soda, but not as good. Like more
Punch in the
stronger,
All right.
but not in a good way.
We're going to go down memory
in my
lane.
opinion. My eyes are watering.
Face. It actually is from 1993.
Oh, my. So, what was one of your favorite things in the 90s snack-wise?
Snack
Besides Once in Candy. I missed that.
We had like the early days of Doritos, and had like the Chippies, the bars. What kind of bars do you remember in the 90s? Like the
I'm not 100% sure, man. Have to do some research. In
lots
between.
of the bars we probably have.
I think that
today would be in the 90s too. Really,
I think they're
old school ones.
before the. I think they're before the 90s.
A lot of
But
it
we
came out
grew
before
up
the
with
90s.
them.
We
Yeah,
grew up in the 90s.
that's
right?
like I was researching most candies and stuff. I was like, cotton candy. When did that come out? I was like, it came out 1800s. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, are there any snacks, popular snacks that came out in the 90s for the first
Josh-
time?
Actually,
like, I don't really know.
Actually, we're gonna taste test them now. But there's one that didn't. I don't think came out in the 90s, but I remember having them in the 90s. So you want to start off with that first?
Okay, let's do it.
Sure,
All right.
yes. Let's have some snacks.
Don't look in my magic bag. This magic bag is brought to you by Cardio Coombs Cafe Podcast. We have tote bags and more. That is cardiocoomscafe.ca.
Oh, it's nice. I didn't know
I'll take a
you had
shopping.
tote bags. Yeah, I haven't seen you carry it around.
What I hate, like, I got Sobeys bags, but I want to go Dominion. I feel bad bringing the wrong bag in. That'd be like going to, like, Shoppers Drug Mart with, I don't know.
A Walmart bag on it.
A banana. No, Aaron, that's not. Don't look. All right. What did I say I was gonna get first?
Something that sure is 90s or not.
I know what I'm gonna get. Sugar. Don't look. I'm just ruffling through my snack bag. Here you go. Break it out. Ring pop.
Oh, I got some of these for Kalani's loot bags for her birthday party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the ring pops are still popular.
This is what I hate when I'm watching movies with the wife and Mark. This is all you hear when they're eating chips and stuff. The bag on.
I can't get it open. Okay.
You live in a soundless world where you don't make sound.
It's all in a vacuum.
And you gotta do this. And you're like,
I can't even find mine. No.
Oh, that's good. That's the stuff, man.
Alright. So, how's that taste, guys?
Good. It's blue raz, right?
Oh, I found it. What's this one?
delicious.
You got blue raz? Oh, it's all the same. I got other ones with different ones, I think.
Oh, you have a different one?
I think these are all vegan besides the Dunkaroos.
Who came up with blue raz anyways? Was it like a scientist? Like, he's like, I'm gonna mix these two.
Remember
flavors.
Blow Pops? Blow Pops, that was my favorite one. Blue Blow Pop. Made your tongue all blue. This probably will too, though.
Yeah, like raspberry should be red. But it's usually blue. It's called blue raspberry.
Should we go
Doesn't
all
make sense.
sweet? Or I won't do no row. Let's make it a little quicker. You ready, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dunkaroos. You guys remember Dunkaroos?
Did they come out in the 90s?
Oh, yeah. Dunkaroos.
I kind of remember Dunkaroos. I've had a few Dunkaroos.
There is milk in this one, so you can have these, boys.
You're not going to have any?
It's vanilla, is it? I remember the birthday cake sprinkle ones, too.
It's like cake icing.
No, bring us back to the 90s. It's like eating cake. But remember McDonald's cookies? You probably like.
Oh, those animal cracker things? No.
They're like animal crackers and Teddy Grahams, but they're just not much flavor.
Oh,
to it.
Teddy Grahams, animal crackers.
I think Teddy
So
Grahams
good.
are nice.
Oh, that's me tap.
I don't even think they
Pop
make
top
Teddy
off.
Grahams anymore, do they?
I'll find a way. If I could find Dunkaroos,
I know they make animal crackers. I can't believe McDonald's stopped making those cookies, though. I forgot all about it until...
All right, guys. You want some more? Such a sweet
Oh my
tooth.
god.
We up all night.
Fruit roll up.
Oh baby.
No, it's fruit by the foot. Sorry, fruit by the foot. Fruit roll up is next.
Do you want to share?
I'm good for now.
I can't eat all of this.
Woo!
I just have a taste.
There you go.
Yeah, fruit
That's fruit by the foot.
by the foot, yeah, and fruit roll-ups were...
Just ruffling through the bag of food.
Like, why did our parents think it was okay to give us this junk?
There's no gelatin in these, though. That's a good thing. Well, if you're like me. Silly.
What flavor did you have? I had, blue raspberry. Not as good as the ring pop.
Now, tell me, is fruit roll
or
up?
the Dunkaroos.
Is fruit by the foot and fruit roll up? Which one's better?
Oh, okay.
I think this one had like more plasticky taste, if I can remember. So
I'm still trying to eat some Dunkaroos because they're delicious.
this is fruit roll up. I used to ball it up when I
It
was a
doesn't
kid.
even seem like food, you know?
It's like plastic.
But it's very satisfying to unwrap them and feel the smooth plastic.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, it's like ombre. Green and blue.
What's
I'm
better?
liking this better.
Really? I used to ball them up in a ball and just eat the whole thing like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm almost stuck to the roof of my mouth.
You guys
That's
might.
good.
Which one do you like better? It's stuck in my mouth.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
they're both a little bit different, but I think I'm gonna say tied. I like them both the same.
All right, this one's gonna be a little like toffee almost. You guys remember Airheads? Airheads.
Yeah.
Let's have it. That's watermelon. That one's great. If you want.
Airheads are like this?
Yeah.
I thought they were, different. No? Oh my god.
Bringing back the 90s.
Watermelon Airheads.
Here we go. Bringing the sugars in.
Do you have some for the party tomorrow too?
We might have some for the party.
We're eating all party stuff now.
Half of what you guys don't, but you guys don't eat.
Oh, this is
I'll
good.
take the rest. I'll take the rest to go.
What's something that you remember that like gush in your mouth? Can you remember?
Gushers?
Here we go. You got that trivia question right.
I like their heads too.
Airheads are good. Is it like a toffee?
No.
No.
I don't know what it's like.
Like here's Laura in the wrapper.
Well, there's not a quiet way to open these. Gushers. Oh!
Oh, that gushed out.
Ah! They're slippery!
Oh my.
I love these.
Eh.
I feel like a little kid again.
This
I know, I haven't eaten this stuff since I was a kid.
Sugar.
Sugar and caffeine and...
things that Claudia will know.
Sleep.
Alright guys, you guys had some sweetness, but now let's have some sour. Some sour warheads. Warheads.
Remember
I love
them.
these.
Get ready to get.
Oh god.
Oh god.
I forgot what they were like. Okay.
What's your favorite candy so far out of these?
Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos. It's like eating cake.
Yeah. It's more my kind of
I think
sugar as
nowadays-
opposed to like...
Nowadays they got like those Nutella sticks.
Oh,
I guess
man.
Would be the new cookies and dip. Oh, she got the sour taste in her warheads.
Is yours sour too? Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-mm.
What year did Pez come out?
Oh, I can't do that.
Oh,
Ugh.
it's almost good as the
love orange.
ghost pepper. Did Pez come out in the 90s or way before? Probably way before, eh?
Well, I guess it's before.
That's the
Here, do
last.
you want
That's
this?
the last one. No, I don't want yours stuck on candy.
Where's the dispensers at, bro? You just got Pez candy with no dispenser.
Oh gosh.
Guess what we're gonna do? Snacks, and we're gonna do trivia. Our last topic for the trivia one. Winner gets a Pez dispenser. You ready?
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Trivia, okay.
Who's
So,
going? Should we go? Who
How's
goes first, or
You didn't figure out the rules before. Okay, anyways. How are we going to do it?
girls go first?
Okay.
I don't want to, okay.
right.
Fine.
In 1998, what was the fastest speed available for dial-up modem? Was it 66K,
God.
56K, 64K, or 26K? I repeat, in 1998, what was the fastest speed of available dial-up modem? 66K, 56K, 64K, or 26K?
64K.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, you wasty?
Yeah, it's okay. That's only the
It's on Gloria Estefan. Shake. What's that? Come on. And the answer is 56. You said 64. Oh,
That was a very tough one.
this is a double or nothing, Mark. It's getting hard.
I would have known that. I knew that one.
You knew
Why
that?
didn't you let me answer?
Oh, is that what we're gonna do here?
But no, I guess we
All right,
changed the
double
rules.
or nothing. There's
The
no rules
is-
here.
I gotta
No.
answer.
Okay.
No. That one. We're gonna do it. Questions is only for the person because that's how we did the first one.
One for the person.
Yeah. Okay. Give me
Okay.
one.
What
Online
online
music.
retailer began in 1994 primarily as an online bookstore? What online retailer began in 1994 primarily as an online bookstore?
I get multiple choice questions. No.
Oh, man. That's rough.
Amazon.
You're correct, sir. All right.
Oh, no.
Are we going to go by who won last one or go back and forth?
Go back and forth.
All right. Which one of the following was not a member of the original 1992 U.S. Olympic basketball dream team? Was not, I repeat. Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone, or Charles Barkley?
Oh. Can you repeat that?
Which of the following was not a member of the original 1992 U.S. Olympic basketball dream team? Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone, or Charles Barkley?
Karl Malone?
Incorrect.
I did that one too.
Who?
Shaquille O'Neal.
You're correct, sir.
But we let's count because we're getting.
All right, this is the last question. Double or nothing. Double or nothing.
This is for me, right?
This is the last question?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, you guys ready?
We mean, we both.
In Spice Girls, who was Mel C better known as? Double or nothing. There's gonna be two questions.
Sporty Spice.
Yep. All right, Laura. Who was Mel B better known as? Mel B.
Mel B?
Yeah.
Oh, Scary Spice.
Guys, that was a good trivia game. We're gonna do some of this now on my birthday.
I'm glad I knew at least
Who
one
won,
answer.
though?
Obviously, Mark.
Remember last episode we fought
He
over
knew
like
all the answers.
So what do I win?
Even mine.
Even the ones I didn't get.
You get a Pez dispenser.
What kind is that?
I'm
I
joking,
love
guys.
Pez
You know
dispensers.
what?
What?
We're all winners here. Laura gets Yoshi.
Oh my god, how did you know he's my favorite?
And you know what Mark's gonna get? Mario. Nobody likes Luigi better, so I'll be a Luigi.
Oh, awesome! This is great. Thank you so
So guys,
much.
that's pretty cool.
I love Pez dispensers.
If you guys need some refills, I got some for
You
you.
got to hook up. Gonna get us addicted. He'll be our Pez dealer.
And they all conveniently fit in this bag. At Cardio Coombs Cafe Podcast. Did you guys enjoy the coffee we had earlier too?
Oh, it was
That
excellent.
was a Colombian medium roast from Cardio Coombs Cafe Podcast. Delightful. So, guys, I was taking it back to the 90s. If we got one more topic, it's going to be really short. It's going to be memories. What's one of your fondest memories of the 90s? This is going to be really hard because, like, I know mine would be probably taekwondo. Growing up, just
How about
letting go of my hyperness.
how about the '98 family trip to
PEI.
Prince Edward Island?
Do you know what? I forgot to mention one of my favorite shows was actually one I first seen in PEI. Do you know what it is? Did we not have cable growing up? But we had I watched In Living Color. That was the first time I remember seeing
Color
it.
didn't show on our TV till it was picked up later on Comedy Network. So
But
we didn't have
the channel.
We didn't have we didn't be able we weren't able to see it originally when it first aired.
So, but when first time I seen it was in
New
PEI.
Flame.
So yeah, that was awesome. Another reason why I love Jim Carrey. It's such a good rubber face. What is one of your fondest memories of the 90s?
So many, I don't even know how to choose. Like, I guess
Chili.
some things I've already mentioned, like going to a Blue Jays game, going to see Bush X in concert, just summer vacations to Newfoundland, and then
All right.
back to Ontario once we moved to Newfoundland.
All right. I got one very last question.
Okay.
Mark, you're an uncle. Laura, you're a mother. What
And
do
I'm
you
an
want?
aunt.
What do you want to see Kalani grow up to do, music-wise, in shows? Do you want to show her the old school hip hop, or do you want her just the Wiggles?
No, I want her to hear everything.
Everything we grew up with,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the old school stuff. What I want Mark to do is either alphabetically do my our cat alphabetically do my vinyl. That'd take a while.
Okay. I'll do the challenge someday, I'm sure.
Well, guys, thanks again
Yeah,
for
thank you for the
popping on over.
junk. I got a sugar buzz now.
I got a buzz just off this drink. Oh my goodness.
The syrup, the scissor.
Syrup. So again, guys, until next time, stay tuned, stay happy, and stay healthy. Less candy. Bye for now.
Bye.
The 90s, baby! That's dope.